Hello everyone, welcome to the 101% podcast where we talk about mindset, motivation, discipline, how to always push yourself, how to become a beast and how to defeat struggle. This podcast will help you to get a better life, that's 101% for sure. I'm your host Joakim and together with me is the co-host and my sister Annika. Welcome to this podcast.
In today's episode, we will talk about failure and how we can face it. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Let's get started. Hello, Joakim.
Hello.
Do you have something on your mind today before we get started with this episode?
No, I have not. I want to go straight into the business today. No chit chat.
All right then let's run into it. Today, we are going to talk about failure. This is episode number 9. We have been talking a lot about successful minds, our stories through personal development, why we have this 101% mindset in everything we do. But of course, our life has also consisted of a lot of struggles, a lot of failures, a lot of challenges. And today we wanted to share more of them with our listeners. I think it's important to be real and talk about everything. So I think that sometimes it's important to focus about how we have solved it and how our positive minds feed our positive actions in our everyday life, because that's what we want with this podcast. We want to inspire. We want you guys to follow this idea, to follow this recipe that we have been following. We want you to achieve as much success as you possibly can, but we also want to be real and talk about the negative effects of life, the struggles that we've sometimes had. So today, we're going to dig deep into failures, not being motivated, struggling to live the life that we want to live. So in the beginning, I want to ask you, Joakim, have you felt unmotivated a lot in your life?
One time when I was 9 years old. That's the only time. No, I'm joking. Yeah, I have feel unmotivated a lot of times, yeah. Many times I have feel that. It have been many times I have set myself too many goals and too ambitious goals, and I just work on them and it had became too much, yeah. And then you just give up and stop, yeah. So that have been a lot of times. But through the failures, yeah, I have learned a lot, yeah. And I try to adjust and done it better in the future, yeah. So it learned me a lot, and I wouldn't be without them, because it's an important part of the journey also to feel unmotivated.
That is true. It's a part of life. But it makes me wonder, what were you too ambitious about? Was it like how you could spend your time on it, or was it like achieving the goal, or did you lose interest, or what made you fail?
It took much longer time than I think, and it wasn't so interesting that I thought it will be, and it was not so fun too also. So then I lose my motivation and feel very unmotivated.
How did it make you feel when you had to make that decision? Now I will quit. What was this project about?
Before I tried to become a forex trader, learn technical analysis. I studied that for 3 years. It was funny at the start because I think I'm gonna learn this and start to work for myself and get financial freedom about this one. But after a while, I feel that it was not the thing for me. It was not funny, not so interesting as I thought. So that was a thing I didn't complete. Did it for a very long while, and the 1.5 last year I done it. Every day I not want to do it. I just pushed myself in front of the computer and did it. And if it became like this, yeah, then yeah, you're not gonna achieve it. But it learned me a lot, yeah. It learned me to become more disciplined. I learned about technical analysis I can use all my life. Learned me a lot about mindset. So it did learn me a lot of things. I spend a lot of time, and you can think maybe I lose a lot of time about it, but I also learn a lot. So, but it was a failure, but I get something good about it. So I try to think about it as that.
And I would like to dig a little bit deeper into, this was a project you were doing as a side hustle, you were working and training and being a parent and all of this. So this was what you were spending your evenings on after your daughter went to sleep or stuff like this. And you were obsessed. You spent a lot of time on this. You put a lot of work into this. And this was kind of your solution to get out of your job, out of the system, to start off your own. Same ambitions you have now. So then I wonder, how did it make you feel when you had to quit this?
It was a hard pillow to swallow, yeah. It wasn't the easy choice, yeah. I was angry because I didn't achieve what I want. I was disappointed about myself, yeah, that I didn't get it. But it also take the fire out of myself, make everything not became easy, and I get burned out, yeah, because I did something so long time that I actually didn't like.
Right.
So it was not a good feeling.
But did it kind of make you lose track of your ambitions? Or did you feel like when you gave up this, did you give up plans about the future, dissolution, or?
No, I didn't. I still have the plan for start to work for myself and get financial freedom and time freedom. Yeah, and I would like to travel and live another place in the world. So I still have that. Yeah, but after that, I just take some years off. I didn't do anything about working to try to get me a new job. I work on myself, yeah, on my mindset and a lot of those things, yeah, but nothing direct to as I did now.
That is very good to hear. And I know that you have made it now in many ways. You have quit your job, you have started off your own, you're working for yourself, and the ultimate goals are still the same with time freedom and financial freedom. You have just changed the path. This trading business, or what should I call it, wasn't the right path for you. So you changed, you adapted, and you found a new way that you are very passionate about. So now it is much more true and it is much more joyful for you.
Absolutely. This is more right for me. Yeah. I didn't know it then back, but I know it now. This is much better and more fun. And actually before, yeah, to one of the reasons I would like to have this trading business, because I like to be an anonymous person. I just like to live in the shadow. I not want anyone to know who I am. So that was one of the main reasons I would like to have this one, because then I can just sit in my room and no one know where I am and I live my life.
Yeah.
Things have changed, yeah. I have become more braver and also think I have a lot to offer the world, yeah, about things I know, and so you just have to push yourself to go out there, yeah.
That is awesome. And you have made a lot of big changes in your life to achieve this, both with what you say, going out of the comfort zone, how you live your life. You have taken very brave decisions with quitting your job, selling your apartment. And this is very inspiring to hear, because a few years ago, you had to swallow this bitter pill and say that, okay, I failed in this. What's next? How can I achieve my goals in another way? And you have found that way, worked through the struggles, and still a lot of struggles is coming your way. But you are in good faith. You're working, you're hustling, you're doing everything you can, and you have reached very, very much further towards your goal than for a couple of years ago when you had to quit this.
Thank you for that. It's going the right way, but it's a lot of tough decisions, yeah, and a lot of stress, a lot of hard decisions you have to do. So it's a lot on the line, yeah. I have to do succeed in this business. If not, I lose everything. It's up to myself, yeah, how much I put in, and if I put in the right amount of time and energy and do the right thing, this is gonna be very successful. And I also happy I have a very good teammate as you, yeah. So we can gonna do this together, yeah, as a team. And I'm very happy for that, because you're always much stronger as a team than a individual alone.
Definitely, that is so true, and that is something I feel very honored to be on this team with you, because I will not slack. I cannot slack when it's you that will get affected by it. So being a partner with you that inspire me so much, and all I want for you is just all the best, all the success. So of course that helps us a lot to fuel each other and help each other. That's how we've been doing it in life for each other for many years, and now to go into the business world together is a true blessing.
Absolutely feel the same. Very happy for that. We push each other, help each other. You are good in something, can be good in other thing, and we just make it complete, the team.
Definitely, we are. And I've been thinking a lot about this. We have been true to each other about the pitfalls, like where can we fail? What do we need to be focusing about? And I think that is very important for our listeners as well, to be very aware of what are the pitfalls in your life. And you mentioned one very good one about being too ambitious. If we are too ambitious and we fail, we are disappointed in ourselves as a human being. As you said, you were angry. That is a big feeling. You were angry at yourself because you failed. And if we are too ambitious, we set ourselves up to fail a lot. So that is, of course, something we need to be very careful about. And also having this victim mentality. I know many people that have it, and that is also a huge pitfall to failure. Like, if you always think, oh, but I'm not so good and I can't do this, then of course you will not make it. And if you are too ambitious and you don't make it, it is easy to start falling into this pattern of bad self-talk where you don't even believe it yourself. Then that is very scary. You need to turn that off, switch that flip off immediately, and start having this good inner talk, because these things dig deep into your identity as well. So it is very important to be true to yourself, have good inner self-talk, and the goals that you set, they need to be achievable as well as they need to motivate you. They need to be high, but be your own good friend. We are great partners here, Joachim, in this business and in life, and it is important that our self-talk is a bit like the talk that me and you have in between us as well. Because if I only say bad things to myself, I get very sad. And I have been through a lot of failures in life, both burnouts from work, from training, from school, from just life, worrying too much. And life is a struggle. There has been many periods of time where I've been struggling a lot with difficult emotions. I've been very sad for a long amount of time, like we're talking several months at a time, being very anxious, feeling fear, feeling worries. And this is not just on an everyday level, but like this was digging deep into me. And of course it affected everything. It affected that I didn't go to work for a while, I didn't train. And then how can my brain be happy when I don't train? I was an athlete. I was used to training almost 20 hours a week, sparring, training hard, loved to be in the red zone, loved running intervals, loved all this hard training, so that when I go to sleep, my body is so sore and tired and I sleep well. I was in love with this thrill for the longest time. And then a lot of other factors in life happened. Life is brutal sometimes. So a lot of things happened in my life at this point, which made me really hit the wall. I wasn't even able to go to training for months. And then when I made it to training one day, it wasn't fun. I didn't get endorphins. And I think that is a very natural way. Like when you are very sad for a long period of time, the brain doesn't produce those good hormones as we know, endorphins and dopamine. And it was hard getting that same kick in a way out of the training. And then I was like, oh, what is the point? Like giving up. I was angry and I was sad. This was a really rough period of time. But then, of course, I knew it with myself that what I need is to just train. Even when it's not fun, I just need to train. And don't start too hard, but go for a walk, go for a little jog, do a little bit of bag work, just ease into it. And then, of course, the endorphin comes, because that is what training does for us. It produces endorphins, good hormones in our brains. And it slowly but surely starts shifting this identity again. Okay, I'm the person that trains. I'm the person that does this. And those things are so important to me as a person. So when I was away from that for a long time, it dig deep into the identity. And that is also something I wanted to talk about today. Like when I've had rough times in my life, it very easily becomes like almost like a disappointment over my identity, like an identity crisis. Who am I if I can't get to training? I'm a fighter, but if I can't train, am I even a fighter? And stuff like this. And when I've been working as a social worker, I've been obsessed and I love my job. I want to do the best I can for every single person I work with, both when I was working in the children's services and when I've had other jobs for the elderly or for substance abusers as adults. I've always wanted to do my best. I've been so extremely passionate. That is the 101%. Oh my God, that's just who I am. That is awesome. The 101% is who we are. But when we are not, then it is so hard because it disappoints me to the deepest level as a person. So that has been rough. It's been many bumps in the roads like that.
Absolutely. But you learn a lot of this failure, yeah, and you need to have them a lot, yeah, to grow. So it's a natural part of the road.
Definitely. And I wanted to ask you a little bit about now life is very good. You have quit your job, you have achieved a lot of great things, and you're on the way to achieving the ultimate goals. But, like, let's say a few months ago, or a couple of years ago, or was it a period of time where you just felt unmotivated? You didn't feel like 101%. Maybe you didn't have purpose for projects to go 101%. Have you had any struggles with going 101%? You wake up and you feel I'm at a 30, or you had plans for this day, but you didn't go through with them.
Yeah, it happens. Usually I do a lot of things. Then I just try to do little bit things, yeah. Maybe I should do a heavy training. I try to push myself just to a light training, and if I not want that also, just walk me a trip, because then I have done something, yeah. And something lead to more things, yeah. But it is like this sometimes, yeah. I feel totally empty for energy, yeah. Sometimes I just want to sit in my bed and look movie for a couple of days also, yeah. Not so often now, yeah, but it have been time before, yeah. Just want to sit, relax, and not do nothing, because very tired and not have energy for anything and not excited for anything, yeah. So it is like this sometimes, yeah. It's long time ago now, because have a lot of good routine and I done many good things every day, yeah. So then I not get that. So I try to do every hack I can in my life to avoid it. But
That
it
is
have been a lot of this through the years. Absolutely.
right. And how has it made you feel when you underachieve? When you had a plan, but you ended up watching a movie instead? You didn't go out of your apartment. You didn't show up to those plans or trainings that you had scheduled in.
I feel disappointed about myself. I'm not proud when this one happened. So then you say to yourself, "Oh, I work so hard all the time. I need to relax a little bit too, yeah." And that's okay, yeah, if you relax a little bit too, but not too long. And if it became too long, I feel no good. I start to eat shit food and chocolate and donuts and shit like this, and not training and lazy for everything else. So that's not feel good, yeah. You became more unhappy than if you do the right things.
That is for sure. And you are the definition of grit. Grit is a personality trait, how you always push through, how you really go into all you do. You are a high achiever. And there are some people in the world that have this characteristics, and you are one of them. You really stand out of the people that I know, because we talk every week about our progress, and you're honest with me when you have not achieved what you had planned. You say it, and I can hear in your voice that it takes a part of your soul away, in a way. Like, you're honest and you're humble and you always say it, but I can hear it, that this really bugs you if you didn't make it. And then the next week you have done it, because you will not stay in this position for a long time.
Absolutely. Feel disappointed of myself and I angry. Then I do everything I can to make it the next week, because this not gonna happen again. But then I disappoint myself, and I can disappoint you too, because if I told you I gonna do this, yeah, and not do it, yeah, then that's not good enough. If you say you're gonna do something, you have to do it.
Definitely. And I think that we are human. Life is rough, and of course there's many times that we fail, or it goes deep into the identity that we have, because most of all we fail ourselves. We fail our ambitions for ourselves, and that is hard. We owe ourselves to keep ourselves at a higher standard, to give ourselves what we deserve. And when we're not able to do that, we are feeling ashamed. And in one way, I think that we're supposed to, because we don't deserve to fail ourselves. we have respect for ourselves, we love ourselves. That's why we go 101%. That's why we follow these recipes to give ourselves the life that we deserve and the life that we want. So we are supposed to feel ashamed, but it is hard. I hate feeling like that. And as I said, I have been like this for months at a time, and it is really rough. It makes me very emotional in these periods of time. I've been a lot sad. There's been so many tears in these periods of times, and I've had many periods like this, both when I was a teenager, but also as an adult. I still get them. I do, and I struggle with it. But then it is important to focus about how can we solve this, Joachim, what to do when we are facing failure.
Absolutely. Just have to learn of the failure you've done, take notes, and adjust, and stop doing the same thing you have done, and do it on new and other ways. Then things will become better. So we just have to adjust. You learn from it, and when you get failure, that's just an indication on that you do something wrong. Then you can change.
That is very true. And I think that change is natural. Change is a natural part of life. We can change often. We can change environment, we can change goals, we can change strategies. If you are failing every day, let's take an example. Every day you want to work out, and you wake up and you're tired, so you just snooze the phone, wake up in the last minute, go to work, come home. Of course you're tired when you're home at 5 p.m. You need to cook dinner for your family, and you need to do this and you need to do this. So once again, you go to bed and you didn't train. Okay, can you change anything tomorrow? Can you either wake up earlier and do it in the morning because the energy level is higher? If you wake up at 6 or at 7 a.m., I think you will be equally as tired. So why not wake up an hour earlier and give it your best, because you deserve it? So that's what I mean. Like, you can change strategies, you can change your schedule, you can also change your goals. If your plan is day by day by day to train and you're not able to do it, can you change the goal? Like, if it's weightlifting and you can't get to the gym, you just don't like it. Okay, can you train cardio for a little while? Can you go for a run? Can you do this? Because as long as you do something, like you say, Joachim, a little bit leads to more. So change it. If it's so hard getting into the gym, okay, can you run, or can you do your push-ups at home? You can do it. You can do half an hour body workout. You can turn on it, a YouTube channel, and just follow what they do. Half an hour, 15 minutes, and you're done. Like, there are solutions to all problems, and change is very often a good solution. If you're in an environment that's not good for you, how long are you gonna stay in that and let that environment eat parts and parts and parts of you? Because you will eventually become more and more of that environment.
Absolutely.
And also, I think it is important to stress here that we need to be patient. Sometimes change isn't the right thing, but if you are patient and you're like stumbling upon the wall over and over and over again, okay, maybe change something, try again and try better, and have this inner self-talk. Because if your goal is to make it to training, why is that a goal for you? Maybe you want to take care of your body, you want to feel better, this and this. Let those goals be very clear in your mind. Maybe write them down, have them as a reminder at a paper in your house or something. Because if you remember the why, the reason why, that should be so strong that it's impossible not to be motivated by it.
That's a very good recommendation. Why is a strong one. That was
Definitely. You have told me that. You always stress that to me, because if I don't go to the gym one day, what's it gonna do? But when my goal is to become the best fighter, one day is a lot. That is 2 sessions in that I'm losing, that my opponent, maybe she's even training 3. So it's like, when I remember my why, I'll go. And also, I've been thinking about when I struggle with these things, it's easy to get into a bad pattern, because I am the kind of person that go 101% into everything I do. I've been talking about this earlier in the podcast as well. And I remember that when I was a youth, 15 years old, we have this ceremony in Norway where you gather all of your loved ones, and it is a special kind of day. And our mother is a great speaker. She writes poems and speeches better than anyone I know. And she held a speech to me about my life and how I am. And I remember the last words of this, and they are so strong and powerful. And she said, try to find the middle way because your life will be easier. It doesn't always have to be black and white. And keep your fire. But my child, don't burn up. And
Very,
these,
very good word.
right, these are powerful words. I very often remind myself of these, and she very often reminds me of these, because to be honest with you, being a 101% person, it's a mentality, it's a personality, it's a lifestyle. Being this kind of person is fantastic. It keeps me hustle, it gives me all of these rewards, it helps me towards success. This has been amazing, but it has some pitfalls. It has sometimes made life difficult because living it to the extreme, the flip side of that is burnouts. That has been difficult for me. And when I fail, it hit really hard because I fail my personality. So, of course, this is a struggle. But the reason I choose to stick with this every single time, anyway, how often my parents tell me to slow down and go in a different pace and blah blah, all of this. I respect their opinions and I respect them and their guidance so much, and they are just scared. They're worried for me because they love me. So I really appreciate their guidance. But for me, going a 101% will always be right. And if I have, at one point, if I work in a job where I feel like I don't want to go 101%, then I am in the wrong environment. I will always go 101%, no matter how many times people tell me to step down so I don't get burnout. Because honestly, I don't see a point in having a job that I would go to so many hours of my days and my life if I don't love it and want to commit and do a 101% effort. So to me, I know how this can sound strange because it has been a lot of failure caused by it, but I've learned tremendous from these mistakes. And as the years go by, there is less and less burnouts. There is less and less difficult emotions caused by these things because now my focus is very sharp. I know what my goals in life are. I know what I want to work for. Uh, and my ambitions fuel me a lot. So why shall I not commit 101% to that? Because it makes me happy, the ultimate goals, but also the process. I love this life that I'm living now. I've never had it better. So why not do it like this? Why not go 101%?
Totally agree with you. I'm gonna do the same.
That is awesome. And this concept, this formula that the 101% is, the reason me and Joakim has made this podcast based on it is because it works. Being a 101% person works, and you owe it to yourself to give yourself what you deserve, what you want in this life. You choose your priority list, you choose your goals, you choose all of this, and you also choose how you're gonna achieve it. And what I mean by that is that if I don't go 101%, if I fail my push-ups in the morning, it is easier to fail going to the gym or eating healthy afterwards. So if I start my day in a good way, I have found the formula that works for me. When I have my best days, I always wake up for the morning prayer. And sometimes I go back to sleep, and then it's easier to fail. But when I don't go back to sleep, I read in the Quran, I do my push ups, I do my exercises, I eat breakfast and prepare for training. And doing these kind of things, this pattern of the 101% lifestyle, looking into a podcast, planning episodes, doing all of these things fuels more success because the ripple effect of what you do goes far, far, far. So the positive things you do will make you do more positive things. And that's the end of my little rant here, that for me, going 101% works. That is the recipe to achieve success and also to achieve happiness and joy in my life. Because if I don't go 101%, it kind of switches off. I'm not that happy. That inner talk is not so good. And my goals seems miles and miles and miles away. So to me, it is important to have this lifestyle, to fulfill this lifestyle every day, because it keeps me stay on track.
Absolutely. Great way to live. I totally agree with this mindset. You get so much done and you get so much out of life. And if you can choose, you're gonna do great or you're gonna do bad, why not choose to be great?
That is true. Why not choose to be unbeatable? Why not choose to be unstoppable? Why not choose to achieve your goals, to be that person, to tell yourself, I am that person. I am a high achiever. I am that, because you choose.
Absolutely. 101% correct. So the reason we are 101% is not that it is easy, it is hard, but it works. This is a lifestyle. It is a mindset. It makes it easier in the long run. 101% formula is the recipe we use for success. When we go 101%, we are more happy and we achieve more success. If you shoot for the moon and miss, you will be among the stars. If you shoot for the top of the tree and miss, you won't even see the view.
Exactly, and that is a very important reminder to us. That's what I was saying about if I don't aim for 101%, maybe I won't even show up, So having this extreme lifestyle will shift your identity step by step, and along the way, you will become more and more happy, more and more as you want. And if you want, you can go in and listen to our last episode that was released a couple of days ago, where we talk about being the hero in your own story. And to us, to me and Joakim, being a 101% goes very closely into being the hero of our journey. We need this lifestyle to achieve the things that we want in this life, but also the process. That is also the goal. Not only the end destination, but the journey is also the goal here. We need to live this lifestyle where we are 101%. If I'm not interested about something, I'll cut it out. I won't focus about it. But the things that I am interested in, I go 101%. I need it in my life. So that's how I will always live it to the fullest.
Great way to live. I will end this episode with a quote. The magic you are looking for is in the work you are avoiding.
Today's episode was recorded on October 17th, 2024. Our next episode will be about the power of the mind. How can you control yours to become the beast that you want to be?
And don't forget to follow us on Instagram on this podcast account, the 101% podcast. If you like this episode, make sure to share this podcast episode with a friend and review the show on Apple Podcast. Thank you to all the audience for listening. We appreciate you all a lot. Hope that you will come back and listen to our next episode. Until next time, take care and give it your best.